Welcome to the live stream, Monday modular Mondays, something like that. And boy oh boy, am I super duper in love with this make noise morphogene. From a sound designer standpoint, from a compositional standpoint, this thing is just, it feels like cheating. Can't remember who said that, so I'll take credit for it. I mean, come on. So basically, what we have here on the bottom row of this tip-top Mantis case is the ReSynthesizer from Make Noise, with the Make Noise Sound Hack Morphogene, Make Noise Sound Hack Spectrophon, the Make Noise QPOS, and the Make Noise Sound Hack Mimiphone. Here in the middle, there's a few different utility modules, VCAs, multiple, but really the thing that kind of makes this, quote, a pseudo Make Noise resynthesizer is the div kid steady state fate random step. It's similar to the woggle bug, though you don't have a smooth random output, but I do have a carve here, which is kind of like 1.5 maths. I guess, maybe. A little bit more features than the math in some ways, and a little bit less features than the maths in some ways. So that's why I kind of say that this is a pseudo resynthesizer, make noise resynthesizer, because we do have, or I do have the morphogene and the spectrophone, the QPAS and the mimiphone going on, but I don't have the dual maths, and I don't have the tempi, and I don't have the woggle bug. But as far as tempi is concerned, what I do have is a Moog subharmonicon, and I have this Blue Lantern CMOS party, which is basically a multi-output logic circuit. So with the sequencer 1 and 2 outputs of the subharmonicon driving the logic circuit. Driving the logic circuit, we will definitely get into a lot of rhythmic, a lot more rhythmic territories than just the sequencer 1 and 2 rhythm gate outputs would provide rhythmically. So, and that way we kind of have a bastardized resynthesizer setup. So let's kill this patch, and I'll just kind of start from scratch. I guess. So what was happening with that mainly is just going out of the subharmonicon directly into this Dopifer A138S mixer, stereo mixer. And then we're going out of the second set of oscillators here on the subharmonicon, the VCO2, the sub-oscillator 1 and 2 for VCO2, those are going to a separate submixer here, and that submixer is going to its own filter and VCA with an envelope for the VCA and an envelope for the filter. That is going out to a second output in the Dopifer stereo mixer, and the output of the subharmonicon, the main output, the main VCA, is also being molded to the spectrophone. Sorry, the subharmonicon main VCA is being molded to the spectrophone's input, and the odd harmonic is going into the other side of the spectrophone's input. And then both of those even outputs are going into the Dopifer stereo mixer here, and that is going out into the morphogene. The morphogene out is going into the mimiphone, and the mimiphone is going out to mixer. One thing to note here, though, that the even side, oh, the even side of, or the side B of the spectrophone is going through the even harmonic is going out to a QPOS and is being affected by the smile pass filter shape before it is going to the mixer. So I'm just going to unpatch this as quickly and efficiently as possible. And start anew. Start anew. Start fresh. So I wanted to make this live modular patching thing with the subharmonicon and make noise stuff specifically because at first when I started down this modular journey, this particular branch of the modular journey, I definitely had an idea in mind, and it didn't involve the morphogene. It involved a few other types of things happening, and a big old boppy patch that I pretty much had set up for about 5-6 months, I want to say, possibly longer. And I really got into what that patch was doing. I didn't really want to change that patch at all. I kind of figured like I had made this modular synthesizer and it was set up the way that I wanted it set up. I didn't really feel like unpatching it. I felt like I had struck a gold with the particular patch, and that's just what it was going to be. And it wasn't until Make Noise had released the new firmware of the Spectrophone that I was kind of forced to, well, I guess I could have not upgraded the firmware, but it did add the new firmware for the Spectrophone adds a ramp LFO for the sub CV out, and it adds a different ways, I guess, of processing that sound when you're in the spectral amplitude modulation mode, or SAM mode. To me, it's a lot more interesting than the original way of the planar way of modulating through the spectra in the array. So with that being said, I did have to take the Spectrophone out of the case to access the SD card on the back side of that little sucker, and in doing so, I felt it was a lot more safe to just unpatch the whole thing and get to the backs to open the case up, and or to take the Spectrophone out of the case and to do the whole firmware upgrade. And while the patch was unpatched, instead of putting it back together right away, I decided to plop in the newly purchased morphogene instead of getting a different case for it and kind of going off on a tangent with just a morphogene in its own neural rack case, kind of putting it with the other stuff that I already had from Make Noise and seeing how well it integrates. You know, it's all from the same company, so it probably sounds all good together, and it does.
It was pretty darn good, actually. So, let's see.
Let's get into a really simple patch, and then I'll just kind of morph from there. Let's see. A bunch of different damn cables happening here now. So let's kind of start with what I had originally there, which was just the VCO out of the subharmonicon into a mixer. And then the mixer output is going to go into the morphogene. Into the morphogene and out of the mixer into the morphogene. And then we'll go out of morphogene into the mimeophone. Already you hear some of that classic noise from good old mimeophone. It's kind of a noisy delay, but in the mix you really don't notice it. Okay, so we've got that patched, and if I press play now on the subharmonicon here, we should be able to hear something because the knob here is all the way to the anti-clockwise. So not hearing anything because the volume's all the way down. Turn the volume up. There we go, we hear something. Sounds great. We could turn up the mimeophone and get some delay on that. fantastic. That definitely sounds subharmonicon-y. That's got that classic weird organ sound from the subharmonicon. Weird. Very, very weird. Alright, we can play with subharmonicon and just do subharmonicon stuff all day long. But let's not do that. Let's, this is a Morphogene ReSynthesizer and Friends video, not the and Friends video. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take now I'm gonna turn down from the mixer, the oscillator 2, and the sub-oscillator 2 that's associated with the VCO2. I'm gonna go out of VCO2 into this sub-mixer that I have here. We'll go also both of the sub-oscillators into this sub-mixer. And out of the sub-mixer, we're going to go into the filthy filter from After Later Audio, which is not a clone of any type of filter that I'm aware of. It's just kind of its own thing. Definitely has a character to itself. It's definitely filthy. It can definitely get pretty nasty. Let's see. We'll go out of the filthy filter, low pass, into the carve VCA input, and we'll go out of the carves VCA into channel 2. So now we have the subharmonicon here split kind of into two different voices. We have oscillator 1 that's just the Moog VCF envelope and VCA envelope, and we have the VCO2 and the two sub-oscillators with VCO2 being routed to a separate mixer, that those are being mixed together to go to the filthy filter, and then being opened up by the carve, but we have to trigger it from something. So what I'm going to do here is use sequencer 1 and 2 to drive this logic circuit. Let's see, get back in there. Get back in there, sucker. There's that part, and then we'll use sequencer 2 for the B input. Now we have all kinds of groovy metric modulation happening, or not metric modulation, but rhythmic modulation happening that is based on the rhythm, or polyrhythm rather, of the two sequencers of the subharmonicon. So I will go ahead and go exclusive OR out. It's a little longer cable. I'll go exclusive OR out to trigger the envelope. That is the VCA, and I will go, let's see, and out. To a different envelope. Let's use this 2HP envelope generator, and we use that envelope to control the filthy filters opening. Now, that is the second voice of the subharmonicon going through the filthy filter, being opened up with this particular envelope, or carve. Brilliant. Let's put some delay on that. We can mix the two of them together here. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're really cooking with grease. Yeah. So, one of the techniques I used in that last patch was to use, let's see, let's turn this down. One of the techniques I used in that last patch was to take the output of the subharmonicon and go into the spectrophone. So, instead of, let's see, let's just try some stuff here. Let's go mult out of the VCA of the subharmonicon into the input of the spectrophone. Then we'll go out of the odd harmonic, or out of the both all harmonics into the mixer here. So what we're going to be listening to now is the the spectrophone analyzing the harmonic content of the subharmonicon and playing that back. Let's see, turn up the partials here. See if we can get a sound happening somewhere. There we go. Alright, brilliant. So that's not really, if we slide through the frequencies, that's kind of interesting. Let's see. But what would be more interesting than that would be if we took the pitch output from sequencer 1 and use that to control the pitch of that. Now it's in a related pitch. If I tune the oscillators to the same note, then the pitch will be the same. If I tune the oscillator to a relative pitch, then it will be relative. Or if I tune it to a pitch that's not at all harmonically in tune with that, it will still be relative, as it's playing back the sequence, the same sequence. So we can just have a sequence playing from there, and get close, you know, or not. Sure, let's go with that. Now, I believe it would be kind of fun to mult out of the mixer.
The secondary mixer that we're using.
Let's mult out of that and go into the spectrophone there. Let's see, go in from here. Is that gonna reach? Sure is. Look at that. So now inside B of the spectrophone, we have what is happening with the VCO2, and we're going to go out. We'll go out of the all harmonics again into the last channel. So now if I turn up that VCO, we'll get the spectrophone output, or should at least. What in the heck is happening here? You're going in, you're going in. There we go, look at that. You gotta turn all of it up. So again, that is harmonics that are being scanned by the spectrophone coming from the subharmonicon here. And we can play with that pitch all we want. But if we patch in the volt per octave sequence out of subharmonicon and go into the volt per octave input of spectrophon, then that will be a related pitch. Now let's listen to all of it together. Put a little delay there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now the real magic happens. The real magic here happens when you start to cross-modulate stuff. So, obviously, we're going to take the clock output of subharmonicon and start to clock the mimiphone. Now we can, let's take the clock output that is derived from mimiphone and go into trigger another envelope on carve here. Let's use that envelope then to effect. Let's see, I'm gonna get a big old cable. We use that envelope to affect maybe something on morphogene or something on subharmonicon itself. Let's see. Let's just experiment a little bit. So if we said we're going to go use that on, let's see, let's clear off this stuff on morphogene real quick, because I know there's probably a bunch of stuff on morphogene here. Looks like it's clear. Yep. Okay, so now if I go into, say, gene size with that, and let's go about halfway. I'm gonna start recording, and we're just gonna start recording all of this cacophony into morphogene. First I'll remove that modulation. Let that record for a little bit. See where we're at. Okay, that seems good. Let that play back. We'll turn that. Pretty wild little sample. Let's see. Let's first try the gene size. That's one of my favorite modulation destinations. Fantastic. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Now, one of my favorite things to do that I've discovered with morphogene here. It looks like we have a frozen mixer. Wild stuff. So one of my favorite things that I've discovered to do with morphogene is the resampling feature, which is to once I get a sample, this is the sample, have have that initial sample be modulated slightly, and turn it back, turn the morphogene sound on sound control back to where it's what Make Noise would say is south of noon, and resample into that, but reversed. So your original sample is now playing back in reverse. The new sample that you're taking is going to be reversed when we move the new sample forward, which will play back the old sample forward, but the new one that we're going to be recording forward will be reversed. Very strange, I know, just stay with me. So we'll reverse that and play it back at original pitch. There we go, sample into a new slice. Maybe make some modifications and adjustments here on the synth that we're sampling. And that's good. Now we'll move that to a forward position. Turn up our sound on sound. Fantastic. Yes. Now, one interesting thing about the carve here that I don't believe that the Maths has, maybe it does have this feature and I just don't know about it, but you can take the output signal from one of the stages of the envelope and use that as a trigger signal for a different event. So here I will use the output of the rise time. The output of the rise time will start to trigger the envelope 3. And we'll use envelope 3. Let's see. Do I have a cable long enough? I do, but it's not here. We'll use envelope 3 here. Use envelope 3 here to control the morph control. If we turn that up about halfway, with the added modulation, we'll start to introduce harmonics into our signal. So again, using a continuous process of resampling into this, and resampling what's going into the morphogene, what's coming out of the morphogene, continuing to process that and putting it to mimeophone is one of the ways that I've been building up textures for the background for some of the soundtracks that I've been working on this past just this last week. And I definitely see how this morphogene is it's a cheat code. If you are if you do soundtrack work, if you do sound design, the Make Noise, Sound Hack, Morphogene, and Spectrophone combos, just these two modules alone, as sound processing devices unto themselves is fantastic. But when paired with something that's as iterative as the mimeophone and subharmonicon, it's just otherworldly. And then you just start throwing in some basic utilities like a logic circuit, some submixers, a carve, you know, and the world is your banana, or the oyster is your world, or whatever the saying is. That's how it goes. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna kind of twiddle around now. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this kind of bizarro stuff, do the like and subscribe thing. I don't say that enough, and I wish that everybody that likes this stuff would do the like and subscribe thing. But you know, I'm guilty of it too. I watch a lot of videos from creators, and I do not like and subscribe their videos. So I would hope that you guys, if you enjoy this stuff and you want to see more, do the like and subscribe thing, because I like to do synthy weird things often. And Monday around 4:20, for no apparent reason, I get super inspired to just be weird as heck with my weirdo synthesizers. So let's just kind of let this play. I'll shut my mouth and turn the microphone off, and let's get weird for a minute. feel like it's cheating. Maybe you do too. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think that it's just a bunch of gobbledygook noise. But, you know, if you watch sci-fi movies or horror movies or movies in general, pay attention to the stuff in the background. There's a bunch of shit like this. I know, because I'm one of the people that makes shit like this. So if you want to be one of the people that makes shit like this too, maybe, you know, pick up a Morphogene and start experimenting. Not sponsored. Or a Spectrophone. Not sponsored. Or you can visit the photosynthesis in Olympia and get a number of weird stuff. Not sponsored. Or maybe you just want to, you know, sit in your home at somewhere between 4 o'clock and 4:30 in the afternoons and just do this. And put on a pair of headphones and it's just for you. And that's fine too. Woo. But again, if you guys like this kind of stuff, hit the like button, do the subscribe thing. You know the drill. Okay. Alright, fam, that's been it for Modular Monday. On this day, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Peace.